How are you guys looking health-wise heading into the scrimmage?
We probably a few too many soft tissue injuries, and some of that's within your control and some of it's not. But we have 4 of our top line defenders who won't be playing tomorrow, and that's disappointing. But it's also 4 guys that have played a lot of football for us, so our focus is on them being back healthy and not necessarily rushing back to the reps. But otherwise, we're doing pretty well, and everything we've had happen during camp is recoverable. So we're not looking at anything long term right now.
The 4 guys: Jalen, Christian James, CJ, and Ricky.
No, Christian actually is a back issue, and he's in a different process of recovery. Ethan Barr, Ricky, Jalen, all soft tissue. CJ soft tissue. They're just dealing with hamstring strains. And again, the hamstring strain itself isn't. Those aren't They're probably ready to be out here. It's just with those guys, we'd rather. What we know they're going to do when they get out is go full speed. We want to make sure there's not a recurrence, because then you start talking about how it might disrupt the early season performance.
How much is the competition at the wide receiver room, including even your walk-ons? You've had some walk-ons that have made plays for a couple of years now. How much is that?
It's beautiful. I mean, I think I was just talking today about just watching practice. I think in the O-line, D-line, receiver group, you're really starting to see the fact that no one's entitled to anything anymore. You truly have to earn it every day because the guy behind you is pushing you. What's been cool in that receiver room is, obviously, I think Shep's had a great camp to this point. I see him coming in and competing, and he's tough. But you look at guys like Gamarion and Quincy, and you just see their approach to practice and training refined. They're focused. They're just cleaning up their game. But it's, obviously Shake Jaden too has had a nice camp. All those guys have sense maturity and growth and process, and you've had 2 freshmen come in and really make good impressions with Junior and London. So we also have, again, a number of returning walk-ons and players that I can see being out in the field for us. So whether that's on special teams or in roles at receiver, we like our quarterback position. We think that those guys have arm talent and awareness, can get the ball out in the perimeter. Obviously, we think we've surrounded them with some weapons that it'll make us more explosive on offense.
Speaking to the walk-on part, not just the receivers, but you've got some guys at other positions that have really helped you too. How much has that room progressed since you got here, and just in terms of your walk-on program? How has that benefited you guys?
Well, it's obviously it's near and dear to my heart, but a sign of a successful program is numbers. I think that first fall camp we had 98. I think we're at 115 right now with the potential to push to 116. So you think about that difference. The other part of it is we've brought these players into this program as it exists now, so they understand that this is going to be about football. Once you become a part of this program, it's a football decision, and so we're not. There's no such thing for us as someone halfway in, halfway out. They're totally submerged in our process and our approach, and we believe that you can do both school and football at a really high level. So it's about prioritizing time and seeing the good in what they're involved in. And, I see a healthy group of walk-ons that are being retained in our program. And over time, they'll develop just like the guys we recruited into. And that's when you'll start seeing those guys have impact on the field. And some of those will have frontline roles this year. Others will have supportive roles or, depth roles. But they're all here to play football, and football is important to them all, and that's what excites me. And again, I said this before, but going from 98 to 115, 116 isn't just about, opening the doors and saying, come who may. I mean, our administration and specifically the admissions office has been such a great partner in this for us. And when you talk about signals of change at Vanderbilt, obviously there are things internally we have to do. in terms of the pride we take in the way we work and our approach to practice or meetings or the way we teach. We can't expect anyone externally to understand the pride we're taking and the belief we have. But when you have an athletic director and a chancellor and an admissions office that understand the mission that you're on and are supporting that mission at Vanderbilt, and a provost for that matter, that's where you start to talk about what's the potential of the program. And so just when you talk about the walk-ons and how important that is to the lifeblood of a program, you have to acknowledge the fact that that is Vanderbilt University supporting us at a really high level.
One more thing on that. Are most of those guys recruited, invited walk-ons as opposed to guys that just show up on campus that you don't know about?
Yes, the majority are guys that we have facilitated their entry into the program, and then in some way supported their entry into the university. And then there are some that, particularly some of our postgraduate guys that apply and get in, and they want football to be a part of their experience. And these guys are usually transfers, and they're just grad transfers, and they want to play. And so, there's layers to it, but when someone's serious about football and they want to be a part of this, and it's something, think about Daniel Gall this way. He's a guy that we've just loved having, that got into school on his own and actually came out and tried out with us in the fall. And he's stuck with it because he cares about it and he's found meaning and purpose in it. And I think if you would ask him, he would say that his experience before Vanderbilt football and after has transformed his interaction with the entire university. So that's what we're looking for. And we have a number of those guys that we value. And listen, you can get something out of everyone as long as they want to be a part of it. And it's exciting to watch those guys attack every day.
Coach, we're going to see some live tackling tomorrow. What's the ramp up to that been like throughout the last couple of weeks?
We've had 3 days where we've had live contact, and obviously it's just portions of practice. You work tackling every day. I mean, it's body position to me first. Tackling's a product of movement efficiency. So I like the focus our coaches have put on that, and how we pursue the ball. And obviously, if you look back at our film a year ago, whether it's early in the season or late in the season, it showed up. How we're closing time and space, how we're leveraging the ball in pursuit, and then how we're playing within structure. And the structure comes with repetition, but you have to make leveraging the ball and closing time and space a priority in the way you train. And even today, there were some balls in tag-off periods that are cut back late through the middle that are going to be explosive plays. If you go back to Missouri, there was a touchdown scored in the same vein. You go back to South Carolina, they scored a touchdown. We've had these issues that we have to keep doubling down on. Tomorrow will be a good day to see where we've advanced and where we need to put our attention to close out camp, ready to play.
On the topic of tackling, with defensive backs specifically, obviously that can be a challenge for some young guys. What do you look at in terms of when you're evaluating defensive backs in terms of their tackling and also in coverage as well?
Well, I think the first thing, and this would go with any defensive position, is length. Length, the longer you are, your margin of error increases. So a lot of times, this goes back to recruiting linebackers. A 5'11" linebacker can move really well, but a short-limbed player has got to be precise at the finish point. Again, the longer you are, you can have a false step, or you can be under your base late, and you can still bring the ball down. In the secondary, obviously, when you talk about length, it's not just about tackling; it's about coverage too. But certainly, the space they have to close to get to the tackle point, the longer, the better. And then you're looking at balance and body control, and those are two things to me that you watch a guy, how he gathers himself, how he re-accelerates. And so often the longer players are a little more underdeveloped, and so they take a little more time on the front end of their careers in college, but their ceilings are higher. But when you find one that's both got the length and also has that ability to control his movements, again, accelerate, decelerate, transition, he's gonna be a good tackler. The third piece would just be what we need to train is the eye control, because we can't chase the ball around the field. And so when you look back at like the Georgia game from year one, we were reacting to the ball thrown and we were just getting outrun all over the place on the perimeter. So the more we can anticipate, have our eyes in the right place, close the space early in the down, you're gonna find wins that way. And obviously the more skilled the player, length, balance and body control, acceleration, deceleration, those would be the skills that help a guy problem solve when that space gets a little big.
As someone who previously worked in the Pac-12, what do you think of the conference, loading, basically?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's sad. I know this is just the nature of where things are headed right now, and it makes me really happy to be a charter member of the SEC and to know where home is, right? I mean, this is a great benefit to us in the world of ever-changing parts that we're not having to put time and attention or energy on that. And I know what these intermediate steps to the long-term solution, may look two different ways, but obviously the Pac-12, Pac-10 has such a rich history and tradition, and it's too bad that it's meeting its end. But we're also evolving the game, and I'm excited for all the things that lie ahead of us too. But it makes me think about having that home base in the SEC and how important that is.
Well, I guess when these decisions are driven only by money and nothing else, which is what it seems like it is right now, does that make you guys antsy at all?
I don't, no, I'm not antsy about it. I don't have any concerns that way. And truthfully, I spend very little of other than seeing the headlines flash. I mean, I've got way too much to do here with this team to go too big picture. There are people in offices that are handling that. And again, I have peace about where we are, and I'm excited about what we're growing.
Going back to thinking about tomorrow, what are some other things that you're looking to see in this scrimmage?
Well, it's a chance for young playmakers to step up. It's a chance for guys to start carving out roles for themselves. Again, this will be practice 10, so they've had time in process. Now they get a chance to have a day where they go out and show where they are. I think we've seen, because of the injuries, we've actually been able to see some real development in some of our younger secondary players. And that's exciting to me. So to watch those guys in the moment, have to key and diagnose, have to bounce back from bad play, to see where we're at that way will be important. And we'll learn a little bit about our operations on both sides of the ball in all three phases, but certainly on offense and defense, where the chemistry of coaching staff, the communication lines, how we're using in between series to instruct, and it'll be a good day. But obviously, it's not going to be a finished product. There's going to be sloppiness at times. I'll be excited to watch the plays made when they're made, and then we'll learn from the rest of it.